Hello everyone. Today we will be watching another My Story animated. Yes, most of you wanted another one, so we will keep on going. Alright, let's go ahead and start.
I met my knight in shining armor in the most romantic way. It was raining. I was running for shelter and slipped, but just in time someone caught me. And the minute I saw his eyes, I fell in love. And he was Harry Styles. Astrid.
What?
You're late for school.
Honey, come on. I'm running late too. Wake up.
I can't have a beautiful dream in peace. Hi everyone, I'm Astrid and I'm from the land down under. And this is how my life turned into a rom-com movie. Or so I thought. But first, like and subscribe. Growing up, I've always watched love stories with my parents. I loved how romantic and heartwarming it was when the hero and love interest met and fell in love. I wanted that too, but my life was the complete opposite. I wasn't as bold as the girls in the movies. I was shy and awkward around new people because I had a problem. When I was little, I would burp out loud and my stomach would always growl really loudly. It was so embarrassing. One summer when I was 6, I was playing with the kids in the neighborhood and I ended up burping so loud, they all fell over laughing and started making fun of me.
Astrid, be careful not to rocket to the moon. Astrid, you're Miss Burps a lot.
I was on the verge of tears when the new kid, Tintin, purposely farted so loud. All of the kids began making fun of him instead, but he didn't mind. He joined them. He walked me home and introduced himself. Hi, I'm Tintin.
Hello. Sorry, I began saying hi and changed it to hello? I mean, hello. Haha, I like it. Why are you named Tintin?
That's my mom's nickname for me. I know, it's embarrassing.
No, it's cute.
Tintin and I hung out the entire summer, but then he moved away and I never saw him after that. But it was all thanks to him that I began being a little more bold. Pretty soon, I became really talkative and sassy. When I was 16, Mom and Dad announced that we were moving because of Dad's business. They enrolled me into a new school and I was super excited because, unlike my previous school, this boarding school had both boys and girls. Maybe I'll finally get to meet my Prince Charming. I left home a couple of days early to set up everything at my dorm. Okay, I'm ready for my meet cute. Just as I opened the door, a handsome boy stepped out. I'm pretty sure I began drooling because he frowned at me. Pull yourself together, Astrid. Isn't this room 707?
Looks like it. You need something? If not, then please.
Excuse me. Yeah, I need something. I need to know why there is a boy in my room when I'm clearly supposed to have a female roommate. Right before he could reply, a girl with hair as colorful as a rainbow came in and introduced herself as Mia and apologized on behalf of her friend Zane. He can be a jerk sometimes, but he's not all bad. We're actually heading out for a party. You want to join? No, I can't. I have to unpack.
Come on, Mia. It's probably Grandma's nap time.
Did he just call me a grandma because of my outfit? It's like Mia read my mind because she immediately hit him in the back of his head and scolded him. The next day, Mia let me raid her wardrobe for another party at her friend's house. And not to brag, but I looked like $1 million. I was pretty excited for the party, but when I got there, the party was for the whole floor. And I was surprised to learn that the guy throwing it was none other than the jerk, Zane.
Hey, Astrid. I'm sorry about yesterday. I was irritated about something and…
You were a jerk.
I agree. I promise. I'll make it up to you.
And he did. Zane was so kind and sweet. He introduced me to all of his friends and hung out with me most of the entire night. He was a delight to be around. Okay, quit hogging her. It's my turn with Astrid. Mia yanked me and took me with her through the rest of the party and gave the rundown on everyone. Those are the kids who are still stuck in their goth phase.
You hear that? She's purring like a nuzzle shrew.
No complaints.
And those are the ones who joined here on a scholarship, the foreigners. But I noticed one girl staring daggers at me. Oh, why is that girl looking at me like I just kicked her puppy? Oh, that's Zane's ex-girlfriend. He dumped her recently. It's an on and off thing. Been going on for a while. Ignore her. So I did, and the party was so much fun. I can't believe I've never done this before. Pretty soon, I was part of the coolest group in school. Mia took me along with her everywhere she went, and I noticed how rich they actually were. There was rich, and then there was this group. Most of their parents were in business like mine. Zane's dad, however, was the headmaster of the school. Speaking of Zane, I just couldn't help falling in love with him. He was just perfect, like all the guys in the rom-coms I watched, always holding the door open for me, giving me cute handwritten letters, and complimenting me constantly. He treated me like a princess. He took me to the carnival, and when we were on the Ferris wheel, he took my hand in his and smiled.
Astrid, I've been waiting to tell you something, but I can't wait anymore. When I look into your eyes, and you're looking back at mine, I feel stronger and scared at the same time.
Zane, are
What?
you kind of quoting Spider-Man right now?
No, you
Yeah.
nerd. Just let me say what I have to. Look, what I'm trying to say is, I like you a lot.
Are you saying you want to be the Spider-Man to my MJ? Zane laughed and pulled me in for a kiss. And just then, the fireworks began, and it was the most beautiful moment of my life. My first kiss, my first boyfriend. My life was finally turning into the most romantic movie. But the next day, Mia dragged me to the washroom. She was behaving a little weird. Astrid, I have to tell you something. Zane is my friend, but look, I know you want something serious. But Zane, he switches girlfriends faster than I can even say the word girlfriend. He's constantly flirting with everyone. Mia, I understand your concern, but he already told me all of this. He says he's changed, and I trust him. Mia just sighed and left. I did think about what she said for a while, especially when I noticed his ex-girlfriend hovering around us all the time. But I knew that I could trust Zane, just like he did me. He was perfect, and he would never do anything to hurt me. A few days later, I was at a cafe, and I realized I wasn't carrying my wallet with me.
I'll get that.
When I turned around, I saw a tall and handsome guy. He looked like an angel with the light behind his head, just like a halo, and very familiar. Oh, really? Oh, thank you so much. I'm Astrid. Let me give you my number so I can pay you back.
Wait, you're Astrid? The burper? It's me, Elton. Tintin.
Wow, he sure had a big glow up. We began talking, and he told me that he was joining our school. I was excited, and I even showed him around. I even gave him a rundown of all the groups, just like Mia did for me. As I took him to meet my friends, I spotted Zane looking at Elton, and he turned red. The entire day, Zane was in a snappy mood. No matter what any of us said, he would always snap or be sarcastic. I had had enough of his attitude. Why are you being like this?
That guy, Elton, stay away from him. He's no good.
Aw, is someone jealous?
I don't get jealous, but I don't trust him. The way he looks at you,
He doesn't look at me in any way, Zane. He's an old friend. I would appreciate it if you two could get along. Please? For me? Zane scoffed, but eventually agreed. But every time Elton and I would laugh or coincidentally order the same things, Zane would get irritated. Like once, Elton and I completed each other's sentences during a conversation and high-fived. Zane became furious and left the table abruptly. I ran after him.
Man,
I don't like how close you two are. You're my girlfriend.
Yes, I am. So why are you so worried? Don't you trust me?
So many people asked me if you two were together. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
I was sad for Zane, but I was angry because he didn't trust me at all. I let Zane be grumpy and just walked away. Things kept getting worse by the day. We began arguing, and Zane would get furious every time I even mentioned Elton. One day, Zane just dragged me outside while I was in the middle of a conversation with Elton in front of everyone. Zane, let go, you're hurting me. What's your problem?
Why are you still talking to him? Can't you see he's trying to take you away from me?
Zane, you're being paranoid. Talk to me when you're calm, yeah? I had to get away from Zane to clear my head out. When I said I wanted my life to be a romantic movie, I thought of rom-com, not a romantic drama. Just as I was walking alone on the road, it began raining. Perfect. Just what I needed. Where's the handsome boy with the umbrella?
No umbrella, but I have a car.
I turned to see Elton in his car with the door open. We went to a cafe, and I told him everything that happened between Zane and I, and he
I'm so fat.
Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt.
Bruh.
Look at Nate. His true classic is
comforted me. Again, he was literally the perfect person, just like Zane was in the beginning. And then out of nowhere, Elton leaned in and kissed me. I immediately pushed him off. What the heck are you doing? Have you lost your mind?
No, I like you, and I think you deserve to be with someone like me, not that crazy Zane.
I slapped him hard across the face and ran away. Maybe Zane had been right about him. I was looking everywhere for Zane, and when I found him, my blood ran cold. There he was, with his ex-girlfriend holding his hand and leaning in to kiss him. I had enough. How could you do this? I thought, how long has this been going on?
No, I didn't. It was her.
But I had bigger problems, like the bile rising up, making me throw up all over Zane's shoes. Perfect. This was the cherry on top of the cake. That was my life. I quickly ran out, completely embarrassed. I had only one person I could turn to this time, Mia. The minute Mia saw me, she hugged me as I cried. She started apologizing like crazy. What was she apologizing for? Astrid, it was all a bet. Mia then told me how Zane had bet Elton that he would get me to fall in love with him, and Elton said he would make me choose him instead. How could they play with someone's feelings that way? Those jerks. I was furious with Mia as well for lying to me. I'm sorry. That's why I tried to tell you Zane wasn't what you thought, and there's something else. What else could there be? Zane and Elton are stepbrothers. Elton hates Zane because Zane dated the girl Elton loved. Now they make these bets out of spite for each other. I couldn't stand being around such vile people, so I went back home and stayed in my room for days. My parents thought I was sick. Both boys kept calling me, but I ignored them. Then one day, Mia came to visit. I know I was wrong not to tell you sooner, but I thought I was in love with Zane. I cried when you started dating, and now you're crying. How about this? Instead of crying over guys who wronged us, why not get back at them? How? I just found out that Zane and Elton have made bets like this for months with many girls. What if we expose them to the whole school? Do they know I know about the bet? No, they have no idea. It was time for payback. Back at school, Mia told both boys I was finally back in my dorm. Zane came running to me first, and he began apologizing. What do you keep apologizing for? That's when Elton came in. Zane didn't give him a chance to talk.
What you saw that day, my ex-girlfriend, she did that, not me. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were sorry because of the disgusting bet you both made and trying to make me fall in love with you. The shock on both their faces was priceless. And I know you've done this several times with many girls. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
I'm not. It actually helps me. Thanks to these disgusting bets, girls helped me get good grades, amazing gifts.
When did you become this person? You were so kind.
Oh, that was like a decade ago. People change, Astrid. Not everyone is like the perfect Prince Charming you want. Go and cry a river somewhere else. Shut up, Elton. Astrid, I'm really sorry for everything. The truth is, it did begin as a bet, but I began liking you for real. Every little thing about you.
I don't care. You hurt me, and so many other people. Everyone will know what jerks you two are.
No one's gonna believe you.
Actually, they will. We had live-streamed the entire conversation. When the boys realized what was happening, they turned pale. Elton immediately ran away. Well, just like every high school, word spread like wildfire and soon reached the headmaster, their dad. Elton was expelled for cheating, and all the girls hated him and Zane, so he left school too. Zane sent me apology letters and gifts. He tried to call and text me, but I ignored it all. Now, I'm only focused on studying and being happy with myself instead of looking for some Prince Charming, because I finally realized there is one person more important than any boy in my life. Me.
Oh, heck no, man. Alright, so let's watch one more.
Hey there! My story is a little different from the stories you might have seen on MSA. Wanna know why? 'Cause it has a ghost in it. I'm Beatrix, and unlike other kids who are born crying, I was born smiling. Yep, and that sort of freaked out my mom and the doctors. Come on, little angel, it's time to cry. But instead, I cooed and laughed. Mom had so much fun playing with me and making me beatbox. That's the reason she named me Beatrix. Needless to say, growing up, I had a great life, and my parents absolutely adored me. They made me feel like I was the center of their universe, especially Dad. We were like two birds of a feather. He was an amazing singer and owned a studio. He often took me there, and I was always in awe of the place.
Daddy, can I be a singer too when I grow up?
You already are, kiddo. In fact, you're so good, you even make crying sound like a melody. I always thought that nothing would ever break us apart and our family would stay together forever. I was so wrong. One day, Dad told Mom he had taken on some debt and was unable to pay it back. From that day on, they started fighting over the smallest of things and soon ended up getting divorced. Dad left the city and never looked back. I was heartbroken and hoped he'd come back for me, but he didn't come. Even on my birthday, I felt shattered.
Mommy, why didn't Daddy come? He promised he'd come for my birthday. Please call him.
I did, sweetheart. He must be busy. You have me. Come on, let's cut the cake.
No, I want Daddy, or else I don't want this cake at all.
After that day, I was asking Mom for Dad all the time, but he changed his number. And then to make things even worse, she married again. I was nervous at first when I met my stepdad, but it turned out he was an absolute gem. Not only did he paint my room in the exact color I wanted, but he also treated me to ice cream every day and spoiled me with all the things I asked for.
You're gonna
Every
be
night when
fat.
Mom used to tuck me in bed and sing me a lullaby, he'd come too. Life was finally good again. And then my half-sister Jennifer was born. Mom and my stepdad only had eyes for her, and it seemed like it was all Jennifer all the time. I started to get jealous of her, but one time when she was crying and Mom and my stepdad weren't around, she gave me the most beautiful smile ever, and I melted.
Aw, aren't you the cutest thing in the world?
I tried to lift her, but Jennifer ended up crying again, and right then, my stepdad stomped into the room. He looked really pissed. I just put her to sleep. Did you wake her up? Did you make her cry?
What? No, I was just...
Don't yell at her. She's just a kid. Then they started fighting over me all the time. When my stepdad said I was always causing trouble and should be sent away to live with my real dad, I felt like someone punched me in the gut. That's when I felt like I wasn't a part of my own family. But I kept quiet and didn't complain. And since no one even knew where my real dad was, I wasn't sent away. But then I noticed something strange was happening. I couldn't go outside anymore. Mom even had to homeschool me for a month. Thankfully, I grew out of it eventually with Mom's help. And as Jennifer grew up, she loved being around me. We were pretty close, even though she was competitive and wanted Mom's attention all the time. Like, when I'd come home from school and run to hug Mom, she'd jump in and hug her first, then talk to her and keep her busy until I gave up and would go to my room. I didn't mind because she was still very small. But one day, she broke Dad's phone by accident when we were playing with it.
Beatrix, please don't let them know it was me. It was an accident. Please, please, please. I don't want them to be mad at me.
I couldn't see my baby sister that way, so when Mom entered the room and saw Jennifer crying, she assumed I had done something. Mom, we were playing, and I accidentally broke Dad's phone. Why can't you be more careful, Beatrix? Why are you two in his office anyway? Don't you know how angry? At that exact moment, Dad rushed in and turned as red as a fire truck. He began yelling at me and Mom. Look at what your daughter did! I told you she's only trouble! Your daughter? Oh, wow, that hurt. After that fight, I began distancing and avoiding my stepdad every time I saw him. Since at home I had so many problems, school was a relief. There I was part of the music club, and singing always felt like a joy. One time when I was in 12th grade, I was performing in a school play, and the lead had to sing a lullaby but forgot the words. I didn't know them either, but I jumped up and sang the same lullaby Mom used to sing me when I was little. When I was done, there was silence. Oh, shoot, I must have sounded bad. But then all of a sudden, there was a thunder of applause, and I was stunned.
Oh my God, Beatrix, you sounded so amazing.
Oh, stop. You're just being nice. Wait, who are you?
I'm an ad producer, and I'd like to work with you.
But before I could even finish my sentence, the man handed me his card. I called him a couple of days later, and then I found out he wanted me to sing a jingle for a Christmas ad. It was so much fun. When I got paid, I went to Mom and told her I wanted to take her out for dinner, but she seemed so occupied. That's very nice, honey, but I have to go out with your sister tonight. She got 15th position in her class in the exams. Oh, wonderful.
15th.
Okay, I'll come too. Well, you know how she is. She said it's a mom-daughter thing only. We'll go out some other time. I hope that's all right. Sure. It was pretty clear that
I am riding this bike 185 miles to our nation's capital to get some cupcakes.
Jennifer was more important to her than me. Mom never made the time to go out with me, even as I finished high school and moved out to my own apartment. After a few years, I started to get lots of attention for my singing, and people were totally loving it. I worked hard, and eventually I got a huge show in New York. I was so psyched about it and invited Mom and Jennifer. But minutes before I was supposed to start, Mom said they couldn't come. When I got on stage and saw the crowd and the 2 empty seats in the front row, I suddenly got really nervous and forgot the lyrics. My brain went blank, and since I was on the stage for so long and still hadn't performed, the audience started booing me. I felt my heart sinking, and then everything went dark. When I woke up, I found myself in the hospital. That was supposed to be my big break. Everything is ruined now. It's not, Beatrix. You just need to take it slow. Trust me, you'll be on the stage again soon. Everything will be okay. I wanted to believe her, but right when I was about to step out of my hospital room, I froze at the door and couldn't move. Honey, what's the matter? I don't know. I'm too scared to leave. I hurried back to the bed and refused to move. After talking to the doctor, I was diagnosed with a condition called agoraphobia. It was just like when my dad left. The stage incident triggered the condition I already had but forgot about. It meant I had trouble being in crowds and open spaces. It had been months since I left my home, and Mom was worried sick for me. She suggested I move into the house next to hers. It had been empty for years because the owners had left town. I was fine with it, as long as it was kept locked and I could stay inside. Mom and Jennifer were the only ones allowed in. My stepdad never visited. Jennifer was incredibly understanding, and we grew even closer. Mom came over every day, always spending time and taking care of me. One day, after she left and I was alone, I heard the sound of a door creaking open. I got up to check all the doors in the house and found the back door completely open. That was weird. I remember locking it. Soon after that, weird things started happening. Like, once I noticed the stove was on, even after I was sure I had turned it off. And then my shoes went missing. What was happening? Was I going crazy on top of everything else? I told Jennifer, and she thought the unthinkable. Maybe my house was haunted. I didn't want to believe it, but I couldn't explain it. One day, Jennifer brought over a Ouija board. Why did you bring this?
Well, if there is some ghost here, we need to communicate with it and ask what it wants so we can go away.
I wasn't too sold on the idea, but I thought I might as well try. Yeah, just like those stupid kids in horror movies. In just a few minutes, it turned out to be a very bad idea. I thought Jennifer was moving the pointer, but she swore it wasn't her. And it definitely wasn't me. It spelled out, "Get out." Awesome! I was even more scared now, and I couldn't move or even leave the house. I was stuck. Things died down for a little while, but one day while I was watching TV, the volume got super loud and the channel changed by itself. I was terrified and ran out of the house without thinking and immediately ran into the most beautiful delivery guy I ever saw.
Are you okay, miss?
I thought maybe someone was in your house. I can check if you want. I just nodded and followed him into the house, and after 10 minutes, he assured me that no one was around and nothing was wrong. I work around here a lot. If you have any problem, let me know and I'll help you, okay? I'm Easton. From then on, Easton came to visit me every once in a while. We would sit near my door and talk. I told him about my agoraphobia, and he would bring me things that I couldn't get for myself. He was so thoughtful and sweet. One day, when Easton and I were talking, Jennifer came to visit me. The three of us had a good time. Once he left, I could not stop talking about him. He's so kind and sweet. You know, we like the same pizza, and we both love the Marvel movies, and
Be an Easton sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Can't hurt now.
No, what are you talking about?
You have a crush on him. It's so obvious.
Oh no, it's true. The day Mom was supposed to meet him, I invited her and Jennifer, but he called and said he had to work late. Mom seemed disappointed. I went to get them some snacks, and when I got back, I overheard Mom and Jennifer talking, and Mom was crying. I don't know how I can help her. I've never seen her this happy.
But Mom, you should know about it. That Easton does not exist. She's maybe hallucinating, going crazy.
What in the chocolate fudge? Beatrix, honey, what do you mean he doesn't exist? Jen, you saw him.
Bea, I'm sorry, but I didn't. I was pretending for your sake. There was no one there that day.
If Easton wasn't real, then who was I texting a while back?
That was me. I put in my number when you weren't looking.
Could it be true? After everything, I thought maybe she was right.
Stop! Right there! Who are you? And how did you...
Maybe I really was losing my mind. Mom consoled me for hours until I finally calmed down. Then we made an appointment to meet the doctor the next day to see if I really was going cuckoo. Just a week later, I was trying to get ready when a diary fell out of my cupboard. I went pale when I saw what was written. Easton used to live here all those years ago? This freaked me out so much that when the doorbell rang, I screamed. I was shaking as I opened the door. But the minute I did, I went pale with fear. It was Easton, standing right in front of me. Beatrix, I'm sorry for not showing up last week. Stay away from me. Why are you haunting me? What do you mean? What's going on? You're not real. You're my imagination. Or a ghost. That explains all the weird things that's been happening. The stove, the TV, the weird... What? Of course I'm real. I don't know what you mean. I began screaming and yelling for Mom, and pretty soon she rushed to me with Jennifer and stepdad following behind her. The minute they saw my frantic state, they went pale, especially Jennifer. Mom, I can see Easton, and I'm scared. I think he's a ghost. Honey, I can see him too. Of course you can. I'm a real human. What's going on here? I don't understand. Jennifer, we met too. What's going on? We all turned towards Jennifer, and as if on cue, she began crying and wailing. It was all about Beatrix. She's my mom, too. Ever since she got that condition, she's been with you, not me. I've done things to try to make her angry at you and happy with me, but it never works. Jennifer, how could you do this to your sister? You made her think her house was haunted? It ain't my fault she's so dumb, believing there was some ghost. Stupid Beatrix. How dare you do all of this? All I've been is nice to you.
Punch her.
And you're so ungrateful. But Mom, Dad, I did this all because I love you and want you to myself. Enough. I can't believe you could stoop down to this level, Jennifer. You're the one who has a problem. And this is all my fault. I'm sorry, Beatrix. If I had never behaved that way towards you as a child, Jennifer wouldn't have grown up hating you this way. Easton just stood there, shocked at the entire situation. After talking to him later, we continued to stay friends. Mom and Dad helped me get through my agoraphobia and get better. Jennifer was sent away for therapy and treatment. With my parents' support, I was able to turn my focus back to music. It took a lot of hard work and dedication, but eventually I was able to start performing again. Mom, stepdad, and Easton were all there in the front row when I went on stage again. And when the show was over, Jennifer surprised me with flowers. She was finally better.
I'm sorry for everything. You were always a great sister. I was selfish.
No more ghost stuff. Never. Good. Let's go to my not haunted house and celebrate.
Alright. Alright, I feel like that's a kind of long video, but I guess bye. But make sure to like and subscribe and please share. Please share to everyone. Share to literally everyone you know. Do it and tell them to subscribe. I really need it. Make sure to comment too. Alright, anyway, bye.